realities. But when it comes down to the way or this given to us, Wu-nuwaupu, our science, we should face it as just that. It's our way. It's how we do it. It's our thing. It's within our realm. It's in our bounds. It's the leniency in which we give each other, the kindness, the courtesy, the respect that we give each other. All is within these bounds, these walls. You follow? And within the mind, that's the universe. You know what I'm saying? So anywhere we meet anyone who's searching for this path, we should have those same reactions, that same respond, that same birth, that same opening of our hearts, the same kindness, the same strength, the examples, and what we have to do to give that to them as if they were a child. Because it's the children who are looking for us for examples, naturally. That's natural nature. They're looking around. It's the younger ones who are looking at the older ones. And it's the older ones looking at the younger ones and saying, do we have a future? So the reality is, within the lines of, you know what I'm saying, our strength, the energy that we got at our age, you know, and the minds we have for the eagerness to learn, and the wisdom we have with all that we did learn, we have to unite. And we can't do it by ourselves. There's none of our experiences that, you know what I'm saying, is gonna add up to all. The brother sitting up here is not reflecting on the same things that you're reflecting on, even while I'm giving the same words. The thing is that we have to come to grips with there's a being who is here that is doing the impossible, so-called, because that's from the white or Caucasian point of view. I don't want to give him any glory. He's not white. The reality is he's sick. You know what I'm saying? And we got sick. So we can't see how we're going to be in our health. The best thing he could do is try to give you the examples of the deities that are amongst you, that are around you. And when he gives you those features within these books and you see your face on those walls, it gives you the reality. Because I asked the question years ago when he was teaching on the computer, and I said, Baba, the faces that you see in the holy tablets and in these books, and they look like someone, what is the reality? What's the connection? He said genetics. So, you know what I'm saying, that's our reality. He's not giving us something outside of the means of what we are capable of doing. He's saying we can do it. But they always speak about a remnant. They always speak about a very few. Many are called, few are chosen. So it is a test. It is a, you know what I'm saying, a very strenuous test. Especially if you're doing it by yourself, but you're not. And that's why it's so important to not sit here and put that much pressure on yourself. Yes, you're only seeing it through your eyes, but you have to realize, you know what I'm saying, the reality is all of us are in the same predicament the moment we walk out this door, and we're in the same predicament when we walk in here. The only difference is, out there, they don't have the answers. In here, we have the answers. And all we have to do is pull each other's coattail. Drop your egos, drop your prides. Put away that. This is the being who came, you know what I'm saying, and he allows himself to stand in front of us with all the egos that we have, and all I think I knows, and, you know what I'm saying, the Caucasian told me, and where you getting that from, and, you know, who are you know what I'm saying, to tell me, and, you know, he dealt with all that. I'm talking about hundreds of people, different languages, different nationalities, people trying to kill him. And he doing everything that he can do to make sure we get this straight. So with that in mind, to my brothers and sisters, I say, you know what I'm saying, the reality is we're not here to say, do something that's impossible or beyond ourselves just because I'm standing at a podium. You know what I'm saying? This is the reality. I've been there. I'm there. I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? But the main thing is, it's going to take the discipline, and those disciplines are, one, focus, concentration. Stop worrying about the future. Stop worrying about the past. Deal with now, because each moment is going to make your next step. It's going to make your next reality. So if you get what we're saying now, if you focus on what's now, what is important now, you know what I'm saying, what's being transported now, What's being, transformed now, what's coming into view now is you as what they call gods, for lack of a better terms. It's you what they call deities, royalty. You know what I'm saying? The high end of things, the high life, the yes of life. This is what we need. So the best out of yourself, bring that forward. One of the first steps that you could do is write it down. See, the pen is mightier than the sword. This is what he did. They murdered his father, that Arab world, and he came back. He said, I'm not going to attack them in no type of way in which, I would love to, through my anger, but I'm going to respond. I'm not going to react. I'm going to give birth to gods. I'm going to resurrect the living dead. I'm going to put them back, on their throne. And when they get on that throne, they're going to accept the fact that they're gods. Because they'll have all information and information to transform themselves and any being that comes forth from them or under them. Anything that's around them in their environment, they will control. They will make things happen. That's what gods do. So we don't look for excuses. We don't, wobble and praise anything other than self and kind. We face the fact of who we are. We accept that fact and have no fear in telling the world who we are. We care not what you think. You know what I'm saying? Because all you have told us is lies. All you have given us is lies. You have given us nothing to make a progress. So therefore, let's go forward in embracing Wu-nuwaupu. Because it's all that we have in this day and time. There's nothing else that has proven itself to be what is needed to resurrect us from the dead. And we weren't dead, obviously. We must have just been asleep. But some of us don't like to wake up. And some of us wake up and realize everybody else is asleep, and want to go back to sleep. Instead of just getting their butts up and start taking care of what they need to take care of that day. This is our reality. But, it's going to take discipline, focus, concentration, weaning yourself out of bad habits. Sometimes, the best thing is to drop it. That's where it'll break. You'll break a habit, But the main thing is, let's face the facts of who we are and what we can accomplish and what we know we can accomplish if we work together. If you don't know each other, get to know each other. Because I don't know what you do, and what you do, and what she does, and what he does, and what he does, and what he does, and what she does, and she does, and he does, go on. You never know. Everything that you have a plan to do might be right here in this room. But you'll get up and leave this blessing. But the reality is, that's what I'm talking about now. How do you use now? What's the best way to use now? This is what he taught us. In every relationship, you have one person giving and one person receiving. And actually, who's giving and who's receiving, it doesn't mean one is less than the other. Because you could lose your divinity, but you could regain it. You could humble yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can have humility, but don't be humiliated. So, these are the things he's teaching us. Because we have to do something to peel off these ugly shells of stigmas and stereotypes that they have given us. We have to break the spell. We have to do it. The books ain't to bust nobody else up but ourselves. It's to knock the dead, decaying flesh off ourselves. Be reborn because you were dead. You were in the grave. They considered you nothing, no one. The lowest of the low, the useless, the non-producers. We don't need that because we ain't that. We got much to produce. Look at what's in this room. This is nothing compared to what we were thinking about doing to this building. We were ready. So you have to realize, it's way beyond. Tamaray, can you imagine where it would be today? That was only done in 3 years. It's been 10 years past the 3 years.
400 and some acres.
Yeah, like he said in the updates, you know what I'm saying, they got rid of Gaddafi. Why? Because he wanted to rebuild Timbuktu. He wanted to bring the east coast of Africa, all of them together where they didn't need America's help. These are the things that, you know what I'm saying, we have to realize. He's mentioning them so y'all could still realize what we were doing. Bump them. Who cares about it? They can't do what was done by us in the first place. We are their descendants. They're going to communicate with us on a daily. Those sun rays are coming and giving energies and messages that travel through our blood cells, to our brain cells, to open up mind power that has not been used for over 10,500 years. And the thoughts are there. Don't believe it, know it, because you're living, you exist, and your face is on the wall. That's why Michael Jackson made the song. Oh, the album, Off the Wall. Wasn't talking about nothing else. They know the reality. They know he was waking up and they had to kill him too. You had a question?
You were just saying something about, what were you saying? It had sparked something in my mind. Yeah. It was very,
Was it anything Gaddafi or was it, I don't know.
I think of it as probably something.
What we had, Tamaray, what we did, Timbuktu, was it anything those things? Yeah, take your time. You know what I'm saying? It'll come up. But it's going to take discipline. We're going to have to stop, you know what I'm saying, just giving into everything else. One thing we do have in the Wu-nuwaupu is order. You can seek out, you know what I'm saying, the different orders that we do have and join those orders. You know what I'm saying? AEO is a very good order. You know what I'm saying? You have other orders that you will see as well. You know? And those orders set the order for yourself and your household. And you'll see that it will help because we work together. Yes?
Okay, I remember when you're saying something about how we relate to the sun waves and they relate to communication.
Right. Okay.
So far with the extraterrestrial, the UFO, when I think of it and the things I have heard from people experiences and they talk about it, with African people, it's like it's a relationship or it's like some communication, like they might be there for us, like type thing. But then when I hear like Caucasians may talk about it's a bad thing, it's abduction, they're killing us, or it's stuff like that. So from my perspective, I get two different stories based on color.
Okay, and this is dealing with what, extraterrestrial communication?
Yes, or UFOs, or
okay.
seeing them, or them summoning, you know.
Okay, all right. Now, when I speak about, you know what I'm saying, the sun rays and messages being given through the sun rays, I'm talking about reality, real science. And, you know what I'm saying, it's by way of light or waves, which, you know what I'm saying, light as they communicate, light to you as knowledge. You know what I'm saying, messages, you know what I'm saying, that's how the brain works. It works off electrical impulse. You know, and the pictures that you see are electrical impulse. It's actually magnetism. Nothing is actually solid. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with a space of atoms and cells. So, you know, it's spaces in between those electrons, neutrons, and protons. So that leaves open space for other beings and other entities and other elements to actually come within that. Therefore, they're talking about this three-dimensional world we live in and a fourth dimension, you know what I'm saying, morphing with this dimension. All right, well, all of that is taking place. And the genetic makeup here on this plane of existence does match the genetic makeup on our ancestors' plane of existence from whence we came, those who have provided for us and made a way for Partner Babyanun to be with us. That's Razak or Risk from Im, or what you call Ilion. So from that galaxy to this one, which that gateway is by way of the middle star or sun called Caffrey. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you're dealing with Orion's belt, that middle star. All right? So you're dealing with Ilion right there. Now, you know what I'm saying, how light travels and so forth, this and that. You're dealing with the sun here came from a larger sun. So all those stories can be found in the Holy Tablets, and it breaks it down. But these beings use the sun. That's why you have the picture of Akhenaten and his family, and they're got their hands up towards the sun. Or you'll see like the hands coming down from the sun rays, and you'll see hands like this. Well, that is the depiction of the Ancient Ones speaking through us or reaching out to us by way of those sun rays. And it works by way through the eyes. But they have channeled and used that for negativity. So they use things like commercials, which has the word commerce in it, for money, for power. So they'll seduce you through that and actually use those channels, like TV, television, to program you or to induct you into, you know what I'm saying, a lie. You know, therefore, you know what I'm saying, you don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is dealing with movies or cinema, sin, you know what I'm saying? And it has surround sound. So you can't go out the bounds of that with your senses. These are the things they do with it. They're putting us under a spell. The same way with radio and, you know, the FM and AM frequencies. All of this blocking those energies and those frequencies coming to us here on this plane. But we have to reach it mentally. And the way in which it's going to do that, coming back to origin of, you know, the brothers left, but it was dealing with the language. That's what it does too. It will break, you know, and put up a barrier. And what my fellow brother was talking about, that language is going to put up that barrier. The culture is going to put up that barrier. But the language is the key, because that's the tones, the sounds, and vibrations. And that's what happened with Nimrod, or who you know as Sargon, or your Bible. They couldn't penetrate him, and the same thing with Murdoch or Murdoch. He basically, you know what I'm saying, put up a barrier because he was actually learning in ancient Egypt and taking information and the teachings of the Natharu back in the Sumerian land and Babylonian land. So they didn't like him for that. And he was in prison then, you know, and blamed for death as well. He had a lot of turmoil or a lot of hills or mountains to climb dealing with the culture then as well and accepting the Natharu in our ancient Egyptian teachings. Same way now. But what we have to do is stop making it hard when we know what he's teaching is right. We have to let the world know, yes, this is God. Yes, he's our leader and our teacher, our spiritual guide. He's our reformer. He's the one giving us the message to resurrect us in this day and time. Dealing with the extraterrestrials, all of that comes with the Kakasu is a strange being to them. So he gets abducted. You know what I'm saying? And he gets, you know what I'm saying, put through all types of strenuous tests, you know what I'm saying, and everything, and tubes in his nose and up his rectum and everything like that, and comes back with these stories of fear and like, no, the extraterrestrials, no, they're going to take over the planet. Yes, he has a fear. Because also he's food for the gods as well. Their overlords are not looking at them in any nice form or fashion. They already put it out there. They want 300,000 per day since the year 2009. You know what I'm saying? Because they're supposed to reach the goal of having a certain amount of number then 144,000, which was taken in the year 2000. And you'll find that in a movie called The Fourth Kind. And they were abducted and eaten and so forth. So these are the things in which he's gotten us with. He's letting you know. And he's telling us, watch this, see this, watch that. How much does it take? How much does it take for us to realize who he is? And you may not just know. You know what I'm saying? To actually, because it's going to take something in you to drive yourself to the point to say, I have to take the next step. The next step, you know what I'm saying? Because there's many steps within this culture. I can't stand up here and teach you Wu-nuwaupu. It's a culture, it's a life. So it comes with much. And the language, how we eat, greetings, how you know what I'm saying, how people are welcome to their home, how we treat each other. It's so much. And this is not done yet. Pt.3 is not done yet. This is our holy scripture. And it's still more to come. We're not done yet. Like he said, 76 trillion years of knowledge. And certain knowledge, you're going to have to raise yourself to that spirituality where you can vibrate out of this form and receive what's on the other side. And if needed and if possible to come back, some will come back. Others will go beyond. You know, but our duties now is what's meaningful. And one is, and the most important one, is to get Pt.3 Yanun out of that rock. And it's going to take our unification, our love, our appreciation for one another. And we should have that appreciation just by the fact of knowing who we are and knowing that we're all sitting amongst each other here to learn this and to help build this, help get this into the minds of the youth. No one else is still, you know what I'm saying, they haven't stood the test of time. We have. In all our morphosizing and all our changing names and our outfits and attire and languages and holy texts and so forth, we're still here. So everybody else could do all the talking in the world, but they have no format, they have no culture, and they will fall to the wayside. With culture, you have a soul. And with a soul, you could go beyond this world. Without a soul, you're cut off. And this is what these people are doing. They don't know the science. We have a science. Garvey said, we need our own science. That was in 1922. Wow. You know what I'm saying? That's a long time ago. So we have to come to grips, like, you know what I'm saying? And he said a lot of people wasn't going to survive this day and time. He said it will only be, what, 25%, I think? And the other 75 will fade away. So I think that, you know what I'm saying, we deserve to give, you know, ourselves, you know, the respect of putting ourselves through the fire and actually, you know what I'm saying, obtaining what is being given to us and put it to work. Because it does work. Wu-nuwaupu works. We just got to work with one another. And we got to see what each other has to offer for one another, to help one another. Reach out to one another. Don't just let people, you know what I'm saying, just, you know, you see them reaching out, you see them needing and wanting to be a part of this. And, you know what I'm saying, reach out to one another. Especially us who are here, who've been here. Like, you know what I'm saying, reach out and get to know one another. And see where everybody's coming from. That way you could be guided properly. You know, and you could be given what you need. You come on other days, you'll meet more people. And then different events we have, you'll meet more people. Then, you know what I'm saying, the internet, you're going to meet more people. We're worldwide. So don't just, you know what I'm saying, base everything on the forefront, but this is the center. And from the center, everything radiates out. And we need that. Within the word concentrate, you find the word center. What you have as the smallest coin is a cent. It's a focus. It's one. It's unit. So, you know what I'm saying, get it together. We have to, you know what I'm saying, know what counts. It's step by step. That's all it takes. Not looking at the big overall goal. We'll kill ourselves just by stress alone. We're not built for that. He is. He has the plan that goes for another 25,000 years. We haven't been given that. He's built for it. And then with that, I'm going to end class. And I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. Be safe. Drive like the Nataro was in your car. Because you are. You know what I'm saying? Put Kawun.